What's up, Internet? Here we are with the next chapter in the ongoing saga that is 401 Real Game by CoolBoy on the Nintendo Famicom, as played by the Retron 3 through a Famicom NES adapter. Last time we covered mostly a bunch of crappy pirate games. Just wait, we're gonna run into a few more before this is over. But now we get to begin number 26, Back Future, which I believe, as published by LJN Toys Limited, by Beam Software. It's Back to the Future. And you can kind of tell immediately that we're not playing on official hardware because the sound is really off on this thing. My apologies for that, but that's a limitation with what we have to work with. This is a game that has very little to actually do with Back to the Future. Also, fun fact, this song is a reworking of Huey Lewis and the News is the Power of Love. Look it up, it's true. But the first level has you running down the street, avoiding pretty much everything, because everything wants to kill you, collecting clocks to make sure you're still in time, I guess. And trying to restore a picture of what I assume is Marty, Biff, and Doc Brown, maybe. But this game, you know, it's not good by any means or measure, but I think it deserves a little bit more credit than it gets. Because at the very least, they tried to give you a bunch of different gameplay types. And if nothing else, that's at least conceptually commendable. Because after this, you get, like, some side-scrolling, well, side-scrolling, you're kind of stationary, but it's sort of, kind of, vaguely, I guess, kind of a reverse shooter of sorts. We're no longer part of the timeline. So we die. But, yeah, it's just, first level's collecting clocks and avoiding literally everything else. Occasionally you'll find a bowling ball you can chuck at something. Ow. And everything leaves so you can't even get the bowling ball power-up. Fantastic. You can jump some stuff, that's kinda cool, I guess. But this is actually an NES game I have a cartridge of, which I'm sad to admit, but this is not really a game you should need or want. But that's it. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. It's certainly no breadwinner, but you know, it's conceptually interesting enough. Even if the execution's not all that well done. And by that, it's not well done remotely close. Now, that's one thing that always kind of weirded me out about this, is you've got a time limit on top of collecting clocks. You would think collecting clocks would reduce your time limit, but it doesn't. Or increase your time limit. But I think that's enough of this really off-key bad music. Next we have Arkista's Ring. And this actually got a cameo from this card on my channel earlier when I did some video of it. This is a really neat game. Because it's kind of a top-down adventure meets an arcade game. You could sort of think of it like a more arcadey Legend of Zelda, or like a more single-player focused version of, say, Gauntlet. But basically you play this little archer girl, you shoot things, you get armor, which can increase your stats. But the idea is you have to kill a specific enemy, which causes a key to appear. That was good timing. And then once you get that key, you can activate that door at the end and move on. But ideally you want to actually kill everything just for the sake of the equipment and stuff that everything can drop for you. So we're going to try and do that. And we just used a magic wand just to show what that can do, although there was nothing on screen at the time. And we just increase our equipment storage space so we don't get over encumbered. So for a very early game that really feels very basic, it's also pretty ambitious for what it's worth, because it's got like a fully functioning equipment system. So now we've got like a fireball, at least for a little while, and we can get like armor and stuff. It's just, you know, it's a nice little game. Really hard to find though. I've been trying to find like an actual cartridge of Arkista's Ring for a very, very long time, and I've just not been able to, unfortunately. But I think this is definitely a fantastic little game that everyone should try if they like Gauntlet or Zelda or adventure games or arcade games or fantasy games or just the NES. Alright, we'll give it one more go. See if we can beat this area. Now, like Gauntlet, you can just sort of funnel enemies through a choke point, and that's really how you want to go about taking out a lot of things here. And it's quite an effective strategy for what that's worth. We'll just heal ourselves with our magic potion, which we can because we've been holding on to it, because it's awesome. I come to like a little town, and there's a nice just sort of sense of world building and progression, even though there's not really anything explained about anything in this game. Unfortunately, we can't get that without the key, and the key's with that wizard. Wizard-looking guy, I'm betting. And I'm betting that mainly because he's the last enemy there. And we couldn't pick up that item because we took too long. But now we delve past the village and into the dungeon, where now it gets a little bit deeper. And these areas are a little bit creepy, and they're definitely a lot harder because you've got limited space to move in. So the game is constantly sort of evolving and advancing as you make progression towards the end. Very, very cool game. I quite like it. I keep overshooting it. Okay, next we got Bandai Golf. Challenge Pebble Beach by Bandai. I'll use regular handicap. 36. I don't know what that means. I'm hoping it's becoming increasingly apparent that I don't know sport ball. Actually, that's not true. I played some Mario Golf on the N64 once. I remember it being really fun. But I don't know a lot about sports. It's never been something I've been interested in. Can I change my club? I don't think there are different clubs. Shot, club. Yes, okay. That's a little better. Alright. Okay. And the game seems to have glitched out, so we're just gonna go back to the menu. It was golf. I'm not that sad about it. And the menu glitched out, so let's try again. And we'll go to Castle Excellent. this is an interesting game. It's ridiculously unforgiving, but it's a very, very interesting little platforming thing. This is definitely, I guess, in its own sense, kind of a precision platformer. Also, when you die, I think your character looks like Bomberman with a hat. It's kind of nice to get, like, a little visual, sort of sneak peek into what environment you're about to go through. And this is sort of a giant non-linear precision platformer of sorts, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Jump. Can I go through this door? Nope. I can stab some things, though. Let's try that. Ah. Oh, sure. Don't stab that time. Okay, you gotta point in the direction while you stab. Okay, fair enough. Except stabbing does nothing! This is a very, very difficult game. I played it like halfway through once, and that was about it for me. But it's kind of nice to get sort of an idea of what each level layout is before you really have to execute. But your characters... Spikes. That's not supposed to be the spiky end. That extra life I got was for nothing. But we can grab that key. And now it's a matter of figuring out where we need to go. And because this game is kind of ridiculously brutal, I'm betting it's down here, where the most problems we're going to run into are. I think one of the biggest things this game has in terms of problems is, while it's a fun game, the combination of precision platformer and execution speed needed does not benefit from the fact that jumping is alarmingly slow, and there just feels like there's a delay between anything you try and do in this game. Oh, that's a little bit better. Yeah, we'll try and get that thing again, I guess. There we go. Now we gotta go reset the level though, but we got an extra life, so that's not too bad. Push, push, push. And this game has a ridiculously big map, if I remember correctly. It's got something like a map 3 times the size of the original Legend of Zelda's map. Like, it's just a huge game. And I have to commend anyone who managed to beat this game back in the day, because, first of all, it's stupid hard. But it's also just ridiculously complicated. Like, oh no, I don't have the blue key, so I can't go that way. I guess we'll go this way. Now, the blue key was down there. But... oh, I can't push that. So yeah, I really do need to go down there and get myself murdered by this goblin-looking thing. That I'm not sure if that's a hat or its brain, but... either way, this does not bode well for me. There we go. Like, that's the thing, you kind of... one of the biggest sort of mechanics of this game, I think, is just having to rely on the fact your character hangs in the air for as long as he does. And the functional problem with that is, while that's an important mechanic in this game, it's really bloody awkward. push. But we'll see if we can get through that other room, and after that I think we'll swap to the next game. Please come down. Jump, jump. Alright, there we go. Very stylish hat, though. But yeah, I can't unsee my character being a Bomberman wearing a fancy hat, especially when he dies. So that's a safe. I can kinda... Yep. Now I can go through that door. Now the problem is, those barrels will murder you. And now you gotta mash the jump button. Yeah. You try and stab the enemy and nothing happens. One of the most useless swords in games. On the Famicom, at least. I can think of a few more with more useless weapons, but that's neither here nor there. And to end this off, we will go with Tiger Heli. I've seen this game before. I know it's an official game in some capacity, but I really don't know much about it. But it's a nice little shmup with a helicopter. It's not the first one on the Famicom I'm aware of, but, you know, shmups are fun. I'm really bad at them, but they're fun. And also you can blow stuff up. That's always fun. Because blowing things up is cathartic as all hell. Except when it's you that gets blown up. Then that's less cathartic, and it's more just sad. Whoa. Yeah, these games, they're really bloody hard. I was trying to play one for an episode of 30-ish, and yeah, I think I managed to get like 2 minutes of footage before game overing. Also, fun story, I'm now the proud owner of a copy of Super Xevious, which is not the game I thought it was when I bought it. I was looking for Super Star Soldier, which is a completely different game. But I'd like to think that my mistake is at least kind of understandable. Also, that's the tank from Jackal. And I'm dead again. Tank. That's the Jeep from Jackal, rather. I have a bomb. That did very little to you. Because it's not screen clearing. Anywho, that has been page 3 of CoolBoy 401 Real Game Famicom Multicart. Just to quickly summarize what we've done in this episode, Back to the Future, also known as Back Future, is a terrible game, but I don't think it's as terrible as people make it out to be. Arkista's Ring is amazing, and really it's surprising how little people know about it. Bandai Golf kinda sorta half worked, maybe? I noticed something with the map that looked kinda like a giant graphical glitch, and it froze. So, I don't know. Castle Excellent is ridiculously hard, but it's pretty fun if you like exploration, I guess. It's a neat platformer, but I think it relies a little bit too much on precision, and the game does not allow you to actually be precise in your platforming. And Tiger Heli is sort of your bog standard shmup, not that great. Overall, it's kind of a mixed bag, but I think Arkista's Ring and Castle Excellent make the past 5 pretty worthwhile, I think, overall. Let's take a look at what we're going to be playing next time, which is the Universe Soldi. Alright then. Anyway, I will see you next time, where we take a look at the Universe Soldi, and until then, peace out, Internet.